Hi, I'm Bram Frank. I'm a first-generation student of the late Remy Presas, the founder of Modern Arnis. And when I first met Remy, because it's a cool story, is I used to live in a mountain in Vermont, heard about Remy. Nobody ever comes to the World Mountain, lived on a dirt road on top of a mountain, and I heard Remy Presas was coming to a small town just south of me. So I went to the seminar, and I stood in the back of the room, being very quiet because I didn't want to disturb him, and he's way in the front. And then all of a sudden I see him look at me and he starts to walk, and it was like Moses in the Red Sea. Everybody just parted, and he just came walking up to me and said, "Hi, I'm Remy. What's your name?" And this is Professor Presas, this is Grandma, but he didn't say I'm Professor Presas, he didn't say I'm Grandmaster Presas. A big smile stuck to me and said, "My name's Remy, what's your name?" And I said, "Bram." He goes, "Bram, I'm gonna be your friend for life. You're gonna be my friend for life. Come with me." Brought me up to the front of the room and started to use me as a Suzuki and beat me up. And I stayed with him for 21 years. And he was one of my best friends. He was like an older brother. He would come stay with me. I would train with him privately. And one of the things about Remy, it was like Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee, in a sense, would pick people with martial arts and feed to whatever their strength was, which is how you got Joe Louis as a great fighter, Dan as the innovator, Tim Tack and other people doing stuff that Dan, Bruce fed to their strengths. Well, Remy did the same thing. So with our group, Dan Anderson is one of the best fighters known. So he taught him about fighting. He came to me, and I loved arms and armor and blades. So he taught me the family art of bolo. And he used to look at me and go, "Bram, stick is beautiful, but the blade is the soul of the art. It's simple. There's not a lot to it." And he'd tell me why I shouldn't teach military, I shouldn't teach police, it's a real pain in the butt. But my family did that. And I'd look in and go, your family did that, what do you want me to say? And I kept thinking about it, that I go, yeah, I want to do the beauty of the art. You're right, I won't do it. And I went, but I really love blade. I said, no, I want to do what your family did. And he went, okay. And over that time, he encouraged me. So with that, I developed a shorter way to do something, because Modern Arnis is Filipino martial art made simple. And I saw patterns within what he was doing. I don't know if you've ever seen Filipino martial arts, but they have different drills that they do. And some people get very good at the drill. Okay, and the drill has a life of its own, rather than it's teaching something. And I'd be training with Remy, and in the middle of a drill, he'd be doing something completely different, but I never saw the change. And then I realized that there was some point when every drill, one of the elements is the same. And on that point, he just seamlessly would shift to a different drill. And I kept thinking about it and went, that must be how he makes it happen. Because if you ever watch people who do flow, and people say they have great flow, they'll double tap and go, oh, I shift over to here and I move that, and it's different. There's a pause, there's a jump. But he was seamless. Then the other thing that helped me, this is about how I ended up with my own art, is he was left-handed. And in the Catholic religion in the Philippines, you don't use your left hand. So they're always slapping his hand and making him use his right hand. Well, I'm left-handed, and they made me use my right hand. And my protege Sonia is left-handed, good Cuban kid, good Catholic, and they make her, all her whole life, use her right hand. But back to Remy. He'd look at us, and in the middle of us doing stuff, something was off. We're still banging away and doing drills, and I looked up and I realized it's in his left hand. And occasionally he would look at us, he would never explain it. He'd stop and go, if your right hand can do it, so can your left. And people would practice what I call mirror image. They look in and do the exact opposite motions with their left hand and go, that's what he means. And I'm like, that can't be it, because you can't seamlessly spar together. The right-handed person would have to do something differently. And I'm watching Remy, and I realize he's using his left hand to do right-handed motions. So the right-handed person doesn't even know he's changed it up. But as I'm looking at you in the camera, what's happening is the perspective when you do that changes. And I went, oh my God, by changing hands, he changes how you view stuff, which is like in art. Wherever the horizon line of perspective can change a drawing or how you look at a statue. Wow, Remy finds an element and jumps to the next part. And he uses his left hand to do right-handed motions. And that gave, I could have had a V8 moment. I went, I got it. I understand what you're into. So when I invented modular, I gave all the credit to him, and he said, "Oh, Bram, you've supercharged Arnis. You've made it a new way to learn what I do. You made it simple." So I have 4 perspectives. I call it standard, right to right, backwards, left to right, mirror image, where of course it looks like you're standing in a mirror, or backwards, backwards, right to left. And then I said, Remy used to jump from find a common element, jump. I found basics motions, gross mechanical motions, open to close, closed to open horizontal, and downward vertical. They're human biomechanical motions. And what I mean by that is, in survival skills, you can cover the high line, I cover the low line, or I cover my head. And when I found that triangle, which permeates from Wing Chun, from doing Wusao, Paksao, Fuksao, from Sinawali, high, low, high, to various arts of covering those corners, that's that triangle. Well, in those triangles, I found a space that if you had a common element, you seamlessly jump. So I found 3 modules that express all the motions of you can protect. So within that, that's how I came up with my system. Now I happen to believe in knives. Many of you might have seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail, the Black Knight. King Arthur cuts off his hands, finally has to cut off his foot. Well, within that, that's what I started teaching. Because it turns out we shut people down. I don't believe in killing people. I don't think we have the right to do that. So I said, like with Monty Python, because I don't believe in cutting, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, the Black Knight gave you that thing about shutting someone down biomechanically, which is the old way when they talk about disarming. So I came up with a system of knife work that fit within Remy's principles and FMA, but allowed you just to biomechanically shut someone down. They can still recover, but we didn't kill them. It's a way to use knives less than lethally to defend yourself and not have to violate what I consider God's law, that we're not allowed to kill anybody. So that's how I came up with the system, and I owe it to Remy, to the Philippines, and of course to my students who trained with me. So thank you very much.